remember some years ago, probably about 9 years ago, started my fitness journey. And on my fitness journey, I didn't plan to do it. Just got up one day. I got tired of sitting on the couch every day and feeling like I wasn't gonna be here much longer. You know, I got up, and I remember around that time, it was like 2017. I couldn't walk. I couldn't run a half a mile without feeling like it was over for me, you know, like out of breath. I was clearly out of shape. I was close to 200 pounds. And for a man of my size, that's overweight. It's kind of like borderline obese for somebody that's my height. And so, you know, I just heard the spirit in me telling me, it's like, you know, you got to get your vessel in order, because during them days, I remember I was depressed. I was depressed because of who had to come, you know, I was depressed. And so I started getting up, and on the weekends, getting up and going run around my neighborhood. And it was tough. It was tough getting through that. But each year I started getting better and better. It's like the spirit was telling me, I need your vessel to be in order. I need your vessel to be in order. So I stopped drinking soft drinks. That came first, actually, at the end of 2016. So it's what, almost 10 years, 10 years this December since I stopped drinking soda. That was the first thing. After I stopped drinking soda, I lost like almost 30 pounds without any other effort. Just left the soda out. They kind of tell you like how poisonous or how detrimental to your health soda could be. But then let go of the soda, start drinking more water and things of that nature, and running. Even walking does a lot. Just getting up and moving around. Your body has to be moving. Your vessel needs to be in order. A lot of people worry about the exterior, about looks, you know, vanity and all that type of thing, but it's more than that. It's deeper than that. It's about that internal, like everything on the inside is what keeps you working. And a lot of us look at beauty and handsome and all that type of thing, and we think that's it. That doesn't mean much. It only lasts, that fades away. The internal is what really matters. And the internal is what's responsible for keeping your vessel in order. So like, as the years passed by, I remember it got closer to 2020, the pandemic time. And when the pandemic hit, I just wanted to get out of the house. So I would run around the reservoir behind my subdivision. And I remember I would just be talking to God. I called it me talking to God, because that's what it was for me. I get out and escape everything, and I'm just running and I'm talking to God. And I realized I started running more miles as I was talking. And this ain't talking out loud like I'm doing right now. It was an internal dialogue that was going on. You know, all my problems that I might have been going through, I was going within. I was talking internal. I was getting all the answers. And the more I ask questions internal, I promise, for me, this ain't gonna might not resonate for too many people, but if it do, you'll feel where I'm coming from. The spirit told me, I asked more questions, say, keep running, keep running, keep running. I'll give you more answers as you keep running. And I did. And I was like, give me more energy. I was speaking to it, like, give me more energy. And guess what? It did. And I have proof. I have proof of this. Like around 2020, 2021, 2022, I was out here just like absolute, just on another level when it came to running. I would run 10 miles in one session. It'd be like an hour 15 minutes, depending on my pace. 10 miles non-stop. And the reason why I was doing that, because I was connected to the source. I was talking to God within me. I was talking to God. That was me communing with the Most High. So every weekend I got out there and I went ran. And whatever I was going through the week, you know, I go and discuss that internally. The more you keep your conversations, like your problems that you want to vent to people, like keep it to yourself and you just speak about it internally. That's the counselor that you can talk to that ain't gonna go back and tell nobody nothing. Matter of fact, it's gonna listen to you, let you vent whatever you want to say. You ain't got to worry about it being repeated by nobody else. Ain't that something? That's the beautiful thing about having that relationship. But when I would go out and run, and sometimes I would talk out loud, but most of the time it's just your thoughts. You don't think the Most High can hear that? Absolutely. Absolutely. So the more I was doing that, I was running these sessions, and I might post some pictures on here just to show you proof that I was doing it on a consistent basis. Now, as the years, you know, passed by, this was during COVID when I had like plenty of time. We was working from home and all that type of thing. But once people started going back to work and going back to school, I couldn't run as much as I probably could have. That's just an excuse, honestly, now that I hear about it. But I kind of slacked off on running as much as I did. I was no longer 10-mile sessions. I would cut it down to like 5 and 6. You know what I mean? And now I'm in a season in my life now where I know I can get back to that. And God was like, you remember, in order to get to that 10 miles, you had to start somewhere. It's not going to happen overnight. You can't just get back into that shape. That's why it is important to keep that relationship consistent. Even if you slack off a little bit, just keep it up, like get up. Because once you take a rest for too long, it's kind of hard to bounce back from that. It's hard to come back. You can do it though, but it's an important lesson in remaining consistent in anything you do in this life. Whatever it is you're working on. It could be a project, it could be a career, a business opportunity, a relationship. Stay consistent in it. Don't let anything get off too far away to where you can't grab it. Somebody get too far away from you to where you can't grab them and pull them back in. It's important. So I'm on my journey to getting back to those miles. You know, my goal is to get back to 10, but if I don't, guess what? I'm satisfied because I'm still getting up and I'm doing something. As long as you're doing something, give yourself some credit, because you could be sitting down doing nothing. You know what I mean? And I know the world likes to wear us out, jobs, family, friends, all this type of thing, right? The stress of the world. But you got to make time to, you know, spend some time. You know, this is way deeper than out here running, what I'm trying to say. If you don't get me by now, this is way deeper than running. Whatever it is that allows you to connect to the Most High, do it. do it. This is your personal relationship. This is your person. You can gather with other people and all that type of thing. That is a beautiful thing. But that private time, it should be priority over everything. That private time. But listen, hey, I hope this like enriched your spirit today, because it definitely did mine. And you see, this is another like a cheat code for me. I come out into nature. You escape the troubles of the world. Not that you're running from responsibilities or anything, but you come somewhere where it's quiet. Find your quiet place in this life, whatever that is for you, your quiet place. You know, one more thing I'm gonna say, since y'all see this shirt, a lot of y'all familiar with the Last Dragon, right? Show enough had power, you know, but he was arrogant with it. He wanted to be over everybody, you know, and that's what arrogance can get you, you know, tapped out of the game. You know, Leroy was somebody that minded his business. You know, he learned to go within. He accessed the glow from within. Once he found out from his master, you know, he had somebody that was he seek counsel from. His master was somebody that he went to, and he thought his master was the source. And the master told him at the end, he's like, you know all you need to know. I am no longer your master. He was the teacher. It's somebody there to guide him along the way. But after a while, we have guides in life. We have people that are here to teach us, people that are here to coach us. But at the end of the day, you have to be able to find it within. He said, I am no longer your master. You know everything there is to know to be able to access the glow. You know everything there is to know. And sure enough, he just didn't want to mind his business. He was somebody that was bothering everybody, and that type of power don't last long. You kind of see that in systems in this world, like when they start controlling people and holding people by the neck and controlling people, that type of thing will come crumbling down at some point. But if you're consistent in your internal control, your self-control. Remember in that movie theater scene when Shogun and his crew came and Leroy was in the first row minding his business watching the movie? Chaos erupts in the theater. And sure enough, Leroy ain't even saying that. Little boy said, I know who can beat you. And sure enough, was like, who? He's like, Bruce Leroy, that's who. Leroy minding his business, watching the movie. That's somebody who has self-control. All the chaos going on, everybody is distracted in the movie theater. Leroy's still watching the movie. You know, do you have that much self-control in this life to realize that whatever is happening in this world, you still have to maintain your cool, your peace, find your peace. It wasn't until Shonuff came in his face, and even when Shonuff got in his face and was throwing fists in his face, you know, it was words. It was all words. Leroy was unfazed by the words. It's only until, you know, that scene where that girl punched him in the face when he got in his pose, he's like, I'm ready to defend myself now. And sometimes you have to defend yourself in this life like that if people cross those boundaries. But as long as people just talking to you and the world is throwing distraction after distraction at you, you have to remain at peace within. So when they finally got into the fight, at the end, and Leroy thought it was over for him because Shonuff found the glow, but you realize the color of it, it was like on the dark side of things. You know what I mean? It was like a bright red orange. So you knew his glow was different. And when Leroy found his glow, when he went within and found his glow, it was blue, like, you know what I mean? White, blue, you know, and it was just glowing. And Shonuff knew he was in trouble. And you realize Shonuff still had his glow when Leroy had his, but that good glow overpowered the evil glow. Shonuff stuff started, you know, glitching. You know what I mean? His glow started glitching. And that's what happens when you use your powers for bad instead of good. Leroy uses powers for good. That sustains. That continues to sustain throughout. You use your powers for bad, it's going to fade out. It's going to glitch out. It's going to be taken away from you. Go watch The Last Dragon. There's plenty of lessons in that. Anyway, this has been an Intellectual Thought with Mysterydoe. I got nothing but love for you. Until next time. Later.
You got to have vision.